Here's what you will need: 1 yard of Spoonflower's Eco Canvas, a cutting mat, a ruler, a rotary cutter, thread, and a sewing machine. We're using our Bernina B350. Begin by cutting out your pattern pieces as follows. You should have 2 panels for the front and back, 2 side panels, 1 bottom panel, 2 handles, and 1 facing. Finish the raw edges of the pattern pieces in your preferred fashion. All raw edges on the front, back, bottom, and side panels, the raw edges of the 2 short sides, and 1 long raw edge of your facing strip. Begin by pressing the long, finished side of your facing strip toward the wrong side of your fabric by ½ inch. Top stitch the pressed hem with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Take one of your handle pieces and press both long sides toward the wrong side of your fabric by ½ inch. Then fold your handle in half lengthwise, matching up the pressed edges. Gently press and pin. Using a 3/8 of an inch seam, stitch along both long edges of the handle. Repeat for the other handle and set both aside. With right sides together, stitch one of your large panels, front or back, and one of your side panels together, leaving a 1/4 of an inch gap at the end of your stitch line, at the bottom of your tote. Repeat the above step until all 4 panel pieces are sewn together in a consecutive line. You should have a side panel separating each front or back panel. With right sides together, match up the raw edges of the tote bottom with the sewn tote sides. This is where the 1/4 inch gap you left at the end of your stitch line comes in handy. Your 4 sides should easily stretch all the way around the tote's bottom panel. Stitch in place, leaving a 1/4 inch gap at the beginning and at the end of your stitch line. Once the sides and bottoms are attached, you will need to close the last side seam of the tote. With right side still facing, match up raw edges of the remaining side seams of the tote. Stitch along this last raw edge, creating a finished tote body with all sides and bottom secure. Take one of your finished handles and pin it to the top of your tote on the right side. The left and right ends of your handle should be pinned 3 inches from the left and the right side seams. Repeat this process for both the front and back of your tote. There should be 1 handle pinned to the front panel and 1 handle pinned to the back panel. Make sure all raw edges of the handles and tote top are aligned and that your handle is not twisted. Next, pin your facing to the top of your tote, aligning all raw edges and with right sides together. Pin around the top of the tote, trapping the handle's raw edges between the facing and the tote body until the 2 short ends of your facing meet. Once the facing is secured to itself, stitch around the top of the tote, taking care to sew through all 3 layers of the facing, handles, and tote top. Flip the facing to the inside of your tote. The handle should flip outward with raw edges hidden on the inside of the tote. Secure the facing by top stitching around the top of the tote with a 1/4 of an inch seam from the top edge. And that's it! It's tote time!